Yo guys, welcome back to the MMA Nights. Today, we're diving into Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. This fight has been building for a while now, and we've got a lot to unpack. The big question is, will it finally happen in 2025? Let's break it down.
Hello, John. I have nothing against you personally, but I just think I'm better than you. I just know that I can beat you in a fight.
You're saying quack quack on Twitter, addressing the duck things. What are those fans getting wrong? Why are you not ducking Tom Aspinall? What are they reading wrong about this situation?
Okay, so I feel like narratives have been created that just truly aren't there. You can't duck a man that you were never scheduled to fight. It's like saying you got turned down by a girl who you never even hit on.
Let's rewind a bit. Jon Jones made his much-anticipated return at UFC 309, facing off against the young Stipe Miocic. It would have been a massive deal if the fight happened 5 years from now when Miocic was in prime. Many criticized Jones for choosing this fight, claiming the former champ was past his prime at 41 years old. Sure, it was a legacy fight for Jones, but it wasn't exactly the challenge fans had hoped for at heavyweight. Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall was on a tear through the division. He had been dominant and was crowned interim heavyweight champion at the time when Jones was absent.
Aspinall's one of the fastest heavyweights. He might be the fastest heavyweight in the history of the sport. I don't think anybody moves like that guy does. At a 250-plus pound frame, his movement's fucking extraordinary. And that's something you have to deal with. Like, that is a crazy ability.
Aspinall wasn't exactly thrilled about Jones' choice of opponent. Hungry, determined, and ready to prove himself, Aspinall made it clear he wanted to fight for the undisputed heavyweight title. But here's where things got interesting. During the lead-up to UFC 309, Jones said otherwise. He didn't want to fight Aspinall, a young and hungry up-and-comer. Instead, Jones made it clear he was focused on legacy fights, the kind that would solidify his place as one of the greatest to ever do it.
It's not about what Tom deserves or don't deserve. I believe it's what I do deserve. And after this many years with this company and all the work that I've put in, I believe I'm at a place where I deserve to be able to say, I don't want to fight that guy. I want to fight this guy. I want to fight that guy. And that's why I'm be more than willing to relinquish the belt. I don't feel like I need the heavyweight championship of the world. I feel like what I've created for myself is almost bigger than belts.
Jones also said that Tom is just being annoying calling him out, and even called him an asshole for doing so.
I feel like Tom's been such an asshole that I don't want to do business with him. You know, it's just like his fans have been so annoying. And obviously you don't get this far in a career being affected by fans or whatnot. But he's just an asshole, you know, with his, you know, he's 30, so he's from this influencer generation where you hop online and the t-shirt sales and all that. I'm past that type of stuff. I'm like, bro, if you had a little bit more respect, then maybe we could have worked something out, you know, but I just don't even want to do business with him.
Moreover, during the UFC 309 build-up, Jones also made waves when he said he wanted to face Alex Pereira if Pereira moved up to heavyweight.
Alex Pereira is the only fight right now that makes sense to my legacy. A guy who's young and, well, my age and active still and have something worthwhile to me.
Fans were intrigued, even some seeing it as a potential easy matchup for Jones, considering Pereira's mainly a striker and Jones has elite wrestling. But Dana White quickly shut that down, saying a fight with Pereira didn't make sense. Instead, Dana emphasized that the winner of Jones versus Miocic should face Aspinall next. And that's exactly what happened. Jones defeated Miocic via TKO in dominant fashion. But since that victory at UFC 309, Jon Jones has been eerily quiet. He hasn't been vocal about future opponents, especially considering that Pereira lost to Ankalaev at UFC 313, essentially closing the door on a potential Jones-Pereira showdown for now. With Pereira out of the picture, the road is clear for Aspinall to step in and challenge for the undisputed title. But here's the catch, there's still a hold-up. Jones may have been avoiding Aspinall, but the reality is that the division needs this fight. For the sake of the division, this fight has to happen. Tom Aspinall has made it crystal clear he wants to be the best heavyweight, and to do that, he needs to take the title from Jon Jones. Now, here's where the drama really kicks off. Many fans and analysts are accusing Jon Jones of ducking the fight with Aspinall. This is fueled by rumors that Jones is demanding a massive $30 million payday to step into the cage with the British contender. In fact, the accusations of Jones ducking have gone even further. Tom Aspinall himself has been extremely vocal about Jones' reluctance to fight him. At UFC London, Aspinall took it up a notch. He showed up with a toy duck, mocking Jones in front of the crowd. He didn't stop there though. Aspinall called Jones a con artist, accusing him of ducking him now, just as he previously ducked former champ Francis Ngannou. Even Aspinall's father is demanding Jones to either face his son or vacate the title.
If the guy doesn't want to fight for the belt, vacate it, and he's not bothered about John Jones. The talk last year, the John Jones thing that we did was just to try and get him to take the fight, to have the fight. Tom's not bothered with fights. John Jones is just another body in the gym, another bum in the shower, they say, don't they? It just is. He just wants to compete. He's a competitor.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean? While the UFC has been clear about wanting to make this fight happen, the timeline is still up in the air. Dana White has repeatedly stated that the Jones vs. Aspinall fight is likely to happen, but when exactly? There's still a major holdup. Jones, now 38 years old, is reportedly taking his time to ensure he's at 100% before stepping back into the cage. Plus, it makes DC even more of a legend. The age difference between DC and Jones the time they fought was the same as it is now between Jones and Aspinall. Still, Cormier faced Jones without any reluctance. However, if Jones doesn't fight Aspinall or retire, his GOAT status would definitely be in jeopardy. But I don't think Jones would duck Aspinall. Even though he has a history and is not the most honest, we can't deny his greatness. For this fact, many are defending him too. Team Khabib's head coach, Javier Mendez, defended Jones, stating that he's not avoiding Aspinall but rather being cautious and strategic. According to Mendez, Jones is a perfectionist and doesn't rush into fights unless he's fully prepared.
He does everything he can to win. He's a perfectionist. This guy will do everything he can to win. He's a winner. He knows how to win, and he'll do certain things that maybe not ethical or unethical just so he can win. Like if you watch him with DC in some of his fights, he's going with DC, and DC's got his arms wrapped around him, and John Jones lifts his hands over like the round's over, and then DC lets up, and all of a sudden he clocks DC. Well, why? Why did he do that? He didn't have to do that, Another one, when DC grabs him, he's picking him up off the air, and he's going to throw him. He grabs the cage around the cage so DC can't throw him. Why did he do that? Because he didn't want DC to throw him, make him look bad. So this guy is an individual that does whatever he can do to win, and he's a winner, and he's a great, great, great athlete. So combine that with everything he has, that's what you got more than anything. So if he's not fighting Tom Aspinall when they want him to fight, is because he's not going to. It had nothing to do with I'm older and he's younger. It has something to do with he needs to be properly prepared for what he's going to bring to the table.
But the reality is that time is ticking. John Jones isn't getting any younger. While he takes his time, Aspinall continues to build momentum. He's hungry for that undisputed title, and sitting on the sidelines is only making things worse for him. There's also the possibility that Aspinall could take another fight while waiting for Jones. Mighty Mouse even gave Aspinall some advice to stop waiting for Jones. Demetrius Johnson suggested that if Jones isn't ready in the next 6 months, Aspinall should defend his interim title again, keep building momentum, and not fall into the trap of waiting around.
And the 6 months, I'm not the biggest fan of him winning 6 months. If I was Tom Aspinall, I'd be like, God, dude, I'm not fucking waiting 6 months. Y'all need to give me another fight. But then again, this could be the biggest fight of his career if he's able to beat John Jones. So, I have mixed feelings on the 6 months. You know what I mean? I think that Tom Aspinall should take another fight, because I think when you put an athlete who's very young like that on ice and they don't get that ring time, they don't get that opportunity to get out there and just fight and make the money, I think it's a little bit different. If I was Tom Aspinall, I'll say, okay, John Jones wants 6 months. I'm going to pass on that fight. I'm going to fight somebody else. I'll defend interim light heavyweight, the interim heavyweight championship.
But the reality is, Aspinall is working toward one fight, the undisputed title fight against John Jones. So the question remains, when will it happen? As for the timeline, it's still uncertain. Jones has reportedly asked for 6 months to fully prepare for Aspinall. If that's true, we could be looking at this fight happening as late as the end of 2025, or even into 2026. It's a tough pill to swallow for fans who've been eagerly waiting for this showdown, but with Jones' legacy on the line and his desire to be at his best, maybe we'll have to be patient. Some reports even claim that both fighters have verbally agreed to the fight, and the UFC is just waiting to finalize the details. So while the fight hasn't been officially booked yet, the groundwork is clearly laid. For both men, this fight is career-defining, and the stakes couldn't be higher. We're all just hoping that the UFC can pull the trigger and give us the fight we've been waiting for. So, what do you think? Is John Jones just taking the necessary time to prepare, or is he avoiding the fight with Aspinall? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and leave a like for more MMA content like this.